So if an organization has no primary reason for its existence, a clearly specified vision, it's rather not probable that it really flourishes. It will simply react to problems and issues occurring on an everyday basis. And this is, again, as I said earlier, most organizations that I found work in not only Eastern Europe, but also in Latin America and also in the Caucasus, or for that matter, in Southeast Asia, really are a reaction to the donor-driven market. And they become NGOs become a short-term service providers to the internationals and quickly fade once, as I said before, the money is gone. Which, in all honesty, nothing wrong with that. But if you're interested in having a stable organization for the long term, you will have to address some of these issues. It has to be really clearly defined in some of these basic elements that we're discussing here. In the long run, this is costly, ineffective, and non-stimulating way of operating. It says, define the vision of organization. Vision that is common for all people involved in an organization's life allows setting up directions of its development, specifying a system of values, fields of activity, and target groups. It allows you, most organizations you have right now functioning in Central and Eastern Europe that are quite stable have actually gone through this process. I'll give you one example a little later. A vision is often difficult to understand for people from the outside. That is why, in order to be able to communicate it better to a broader audience and to provide a coherent understanding of its principles within the group itself, the mission statement is elaborated. This precise short text contains key information on the organization. I'll give you an example in a second, because I know a lot of this doesn't make sense at the moment. So what is a mission of organization? Why define the mission statement? The mission statement should be a brief declaration presenting the vision of the organization. Preparing the mission in writing is not at all easy. It's a short text that must balance the will to tell many things with clear and concise information. A mission statement should express things which in the most fundamental way express the specific character of the organization. The mission statement should not be long. It should really be a few sentences and divided into paragraphs. So a good mission statement will have the following in it. Obviously, the name of the organization, what its goals, the way the organization operates, result of the organization's activity. What do you think if you implement the projects, the impact it's going to have? Who are your target groups? What's the meaning? Who are you servicing, or what groups are you working with? And a system of preferred values. So let me give you here some examples. The mission statement is important both for communication within the organization and for delivering a simple and clear message about the organization to the outside. Again, as I said earlier, a lot of donors will ask you for this. They will say, what is the mission of it? And they want to see it clearly, straightforward, to make sure that you and the donor, and for that matter, everyone's on the same page. So I'm going to repeat this again here. So the mission statement defines clearly and concisely the essence of the organization, helps to understand the reason for being in the organizations, helps to evaluate. So it really serves a lot of purposes. Let me see if I can get some examples. The mission statement, as I said earlier, really must be very simple, and it has to be not too long. So I'm going to give you two extreme examples. One is the mission of the Voluntary Center here in the US. The aim of the Voluntary Center is to promote the idea of voluntary work, straightforward. The beneficiaries of volunteer work are both the volunteers themselves and the community in which they work. Volunteer work permits people to meet and work together. I won't read the whole thing because it's too long. But the other part is the Volunteer Center is leading organization working to maximize the benefits arising from well-organized volunteer work. All they're doing is bringing people together, and they're describing it. So the mission of the Voluntary Center is, in order to achieve this aim, we shall promote, they tell you exactly how they're going to do it, knowledge on and acceptance of the value of volunteer work, develop and implement standards of volunteer work management. And then they say, in our work, we shall stress openness to the need of our clients, professional work standards. These are their values. The principle of equal chances in staff employment, and so forth. Here's the mission statement of the Civil Society Development Foundation in Poland. is a nonprofit organization that works to strengthen and improve the effectiveness of citizen-based initiatives in Poland and other countries of Eastern and Central Europe. And again, I mean, I won't go into great detail because I think it's too much reading here, but it's here they tell you what their value is, guided by the belief that a strong democratic society relies on the ability of the public, private, and non-governmental sectors to work cooperatively. The foundation initiates, promotes, and examines mechanisms to advance such cooperation. So anyways, Victor will send you some of this stuff, examples in Russian, just so you have it. So this is another one here. This is the Worldwide Foundation, the Worldwide Fund. Again, straightforward, missions to achieve the conservation of nature and ecological processes, and they go on. So the tool that most of us use when we're creating our mission statement is very simple. It's actually this simple little table, which is, you try to put the name of the organization, you define the main goals and objectives. What is your target groups, the methods, and the values? And this really should not be more than about 250 words at most. It really should be very precise, something someone can read really just by glancing at it.